Hello and welcome to part 2 of our how-to video series, No ePro. Today what I wanted to talk about is how to look up a requisition and figure out why perhaps that requisition has not turned into a purchase order. With our PeopleSoft system that we use, the idea behind the requisition is to actually have that requisition turn into an official purchase order that will then get sent out to the vendor so that they can fulfill the order, whether it be a office supply order, a specific order, or it would be a blanket setup, to conduct professional technical services. But we get questions sometimes wondering, I put in a requisition, why hasn't it sourced to a PO? What's the status? Where are we at? So I wanted to show you really quick how to look up that status and get an idea of a couple of reasons on why that may be happening. So here we are in PeopleSoft. So I'm going to go to main menu, e-procurement. I'm going to go to manage requisitions. And as in part 1 of the video series we did, the requisition page defaults to some settings. It'll default to your business unit. It will default to your last 7 days, and it'll bring up information within that area. To simply clear all of this, hit the clear button, and then you could enter any criteria that we're looking for. In this case, what we're going to be looking for is we want to look at any request state status of pending. Again, pending meaning it is not fully complete, and we're trying to figure out why it has not finished. So for purposes of this exercise, for business unit, you can click the little glass there and select your business unit where you may be. For this video, I'm going to use Department of Economic Development. And here in my request state section, I'm going to look for pending requisitions, because again, this is what I want to figure out why something is pending. So I'm going to hit search, and I have some selections down here. I'm just going to look at this second one here and kind of see what's going on. It's a $25,000 requisition. It's in pending status, and I just want to figure out what may be happening. So just like in first video, you want to click on this expand section here. You're going to get the timeline, the rec to check process. In this case, the difference between this and our first video is, notice how we don't see many of these areas active at all. All we see at this point is requisition and approvals. So two things to look for here when you're looking at this page. First of all, the PeopleSoft system design is whenever a requisition is entered into the system, it wants to source that to a purchase order. In order to do that, one, it has to have a dollar amount, and two, it must have a supplier attached to the requisition line. In other words, I have to actually tell the requisition that I'm ordering a good or service from a particular vendor in our system. As you can see in this example, there is no supplier right here. This is blank. So when this is fully approved, this will not source into anything because the system does not know, well, who do I need to source this to? So that's option 1 on why something has not sourced to a purchase order. The second reason could be simply it is not fully approved. I can simply click this approvals link here, and I can see on the timeline if there is a person or persons who have not approved this. In this case, I'm going to scroll over to the right of the screen here, and I'm going to find that there is a pending person here who has not finished approving this requisition. So until that is fully approved, the system will not move on to the next step to enter into a PO status. So very simply, what we went over is to look for a couple reasons on why a requisition has not sourced to a PO, if that's the expectation. First reason, there is no supplier attached to the rec, as you can see here. Second reason is that the requisition is not fully approved. So there is a quick lesson on how to look up a requisition to figure out how and why it has not sourced to a PO. Thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed the video. Again, please be on the lookout for future videos and trainings on how to look up requisitions, purchase orders, etc. Thank you so much.